the game of the week, Santa Fe versus Gainesville, October 1st at 7:30 and October 3rd at 3.
She is bad.
You're cooling? You know I'm cooling.
She's tough.
No one is too big or too small to receive the crunch.
Crunch, crunch.
Ooh, wee, she is fine.
F period, I period, N period, E period.
She's TASHA D, and you can see her on Video Visions on Cox Cable 8.
I used to be a DJ myself, so I'm really into my music. And I've watched several other video shows and still haven't seen anything like it. I break it down into two basic parts, the music quality and the video itself. I mean, how else can you determine whether or not what you see goes with what you hear? Somebody once called me the Siskel and Ebert of music videos. I guess because I critique what's new. I told them, call it what you want, but personally, I call it the record and video review.
Come here, man. Here we go. Let's get smooth. Cause your love feels so good.
Yeah.
Yo, bust this. Yo, bust this, baby.
Yeah.
Come along. Let's get smooth. I want to take you where you've never been before.
Our second story involves Mrs. Sally Simmons. In contrast to what you've just seen, her situation is a lot different. Mrs. Simmons is an elderly client that lives in the northwest section of Gainesville. Our agency became involved with Mrs. Simmons the early part of this year. We've witnessed major repair needs to her home. We've been able to assist with some, and Mrs. Simmons is going to inform you of what the Community Action Agency has been able to do for her thus far.
I bought 2 houses, and I paid $25 a piece for them. Yeah. And I had them tore down and moved here. And I had a man to lay the foundation. And then me and my adopted son, we built it.
Oh, you did?
I built this house in 1963.
Yeah.
And I moved in it the 9th of July in '63.
The Central Florida Community Action Agency became involved with Mrs. Simmons back in April. One of our community service staff people referred her case to us. At that time, her house had suffered major damage from rain and wear, and Mrs. Simmons' income was not sufficient enough for her to make the necessary repairs that were needed. And our Florida Fix Emergency Home Repair Program and Weatherization, we got involved, and we were able to replace the roof and complete all the interior walls in here and do other minor and major repairs, the windows, and she have cabinetry in here and new doors. And we still have much work to do, but we certainly enjoyed the opportunity to come in and assist Mrs. Simmons.
Race this year in the funny car division is going to be very, very tough. It's going to go down to the wire, I feel. There's quite a few more cars that are competitive, and you know, you have Casey Spurlock with the Fruit of the Loom car, Al Hoffman's Western Auto car, and myself with the McDonald's car, and Forrest with his Castrol car. So there's a number of cars going for the championship this year, and that's the way we like it. You know, we like the competition, the competitiveness, and
it's gotten a whole lot tougher this year. Hoffman, a number of guys have stepped up, Casey Spurlock, and naturally Cruz. So we got our job cut out for us.
Gainesville is known around the circuit for having good air, and while the 300 barrier has already been broken for funny car, this weekend could see the first multiple 300 runs.
Everyone saw Bernstein run 300 here, the first in a dragster, and I'm thinking there's been a couple of funny cars that have run 300, and I'm thinking we got
definitely the 300-mile-per-hour mark is definitely out there for funny cars. Al Hoffman's run 301, Epler's run the 300, and you know, our cars run 295, 297 pretty consistently, and I think with the better track conditions and the weather here, I think our car will be right up there.
Every run we've made since Phoenix, we've had to take power out of the car, and we feel at this race we can put the power back into the car.
The Santa Fe Raiders coach John Carter and company would love to avenge last year's state semifinal loss. State champion Jacksonville Bulls looks to pick up where they left off last year, already 2-0 this season. Both squads are sure to contend for the top spot of the 3A district. It's Santa Fe and Jacksonville Bulls coming up on Cox Cable 8. Good evening and welcome to a soggy and drenched Raider Field as we get set for a rematch of last year's state semifinal between the Santa Fe Raiders and Jacksonville Bulls. Hello everybody, I'm Mike Morgan along with Marcus Overstreet. Well, the Santa Fe Raiders looked very impressive last week in a game against the Buchholz Bobcats. They run a run and shoot offense, but lately, Mark, it's been more run than shoot.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. The Santa Fe offense completed only 2 passes last week, but that's all they needed to defeat Buchholz. The Santa Fe offense, their strength is the running game, and that's led by running back Taiwan Ford. Also look for quarterback Freddie Lucas. He's a scrambler, and he can get out of the pocket and make things happen. And also don't forget about Tonio Mason and also Adrian Peterson. They're a complement to Ford and that running attack.
As for Jacksonville Bulls, it's a bit of a rebuilding year. Coach Corky Rogers admits this is not the same squad that won the state crown a year ago, but the Bulls does own the state's longest winning streak, 18 consecutive games. And Mark, Santa Fe has a big district game against Eastside next week, but apparently motivation will not be a factor.
Well, we talked to Coach John Carter, and he says that he admits that the coaching staff is looking a little bit ahead to next week's matchup with Eastside, but he says his players are going to be ready and they're going to want some revenge. The Santa Fe team feels that they could have been state champs last year if not for a loss to this Bulls team in the state playoff semifinals, Mike.
Well, strike or no strike, if it was a baseball game, they'd call it, but this is football, and we're going to tough it out. And speaking of tough, there's no one tougher than our roving sideline reporters, Jason Alpert and Ivan Gatewood. Guys.
Video visions. Video visions.
Welcome to Video Visions. I'm Satonia, and we're cool like that, fly like that, and fat like that. So you know we've got a hype show in store. You'll see the latest videos from Jodeci, Tony Braxton, CeCe Peniston, and many more of your favorite artists. We will deliver the music and entertainment news Dwayne style, and Angel Poe will get in deep with Terry and Monica's latest video on the record and video review. And I will also get up close and personal with Terry and Monica on Artist Profile. That's coming up later on the show, so be sure to stick around for that. But speaking of Terry and Monica, they're starting things off with their latest release, Intentions, on Video Vision. Unless you gave me a reason.